Babsy and the ministry and the government in general for giving the green light finally. This has been something that Sports DTM has been highlighting for weeks now. And now that it is announced, we're extremely pleased.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to this special episode of Sports Down the Middle, the channel of undiluted sports content. In a breaking news, the Ministry of Health and Minister Babsy Grange has announced that sports will resume as of the 1st of February to the 28th of February 2021. Before we go into the details, we see that you've been watching and liking our videos, but we also want you to be part of the Sports DTM family. So hit that subscribe button. If your subscribe button is red, it means that you have not yet subscribed. So just hit the button. Yeah, go ahead. Hit that button. Once it turns gray, it means you have subscribed and you're now part of the Sports DTM family. We also want to thank you for your support. And remember to like, to share with a friend. Ricky, let us hear what are some of the changes that the ministry have announced.
All right, so greetings, sports fans. Minister Grange announced today that the government of Jamaica has given the go-ahead for the resumption of sporting activities on a case-by-case basis. The Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment of Sports says provision for the resumption of sporting activity has been included in the Disaster Risk Management and Enforcement Measures number 2, Order 2021. She said under the order, organizers of sports events must first send an application to the Director of Sports in the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and they will review the application to see that it meets the requirements as outlined in the order and transmit it to the Director General of the ODPM.
So if we were to pause here, the associations are to put an application in, but that application should contain details of an order that is at the Office of the Disaster Preparedness.
Right.
That's what it is saying, right? So I need to go to, so sports association out there, you need to go to Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, either their website or their office, to get the requirements for the application and then submit that application to the Ministry of Sports. We need you to be on board, so we want you to action this as quickly as possible so that sports can resume. Back over to you, Ricky.
All right. They said if the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management is satisfied after consultation with the Ministry of Health, then the venue is appropriate and that sanitization, mask wearing, and distancing protocol will be strictly observed, then the ODPM will approve the application for the specific training and or competition to take place at the specified place and time. And this is a process that everybody must follow. The order mandates that sports events may be held only at venues that are enclosed by a perimeter fencing, where there is access to proper sanitary conveniences and at places that are conducive to appropriate security measures. Minister Grange emphasizes that no spectator, not one, no fence, you can't stand up at no fence, no spectators will be allowed at any competitions or training sessions at this time. She says each sporting activity must involve regular cleaning of gear and equipment and the taking of the temperatures of all athletes, coaches, officers, officials, everybody who is participating must have their temperatures checked.
Sounds like a good but convoluted process. And it sounds like a lot of venues will be excluded from the plan, but we're happy to hear this announcement that there is some sort of plans in place for sports to resume.
That's right. This new order has made provision for sporting events. We had been lobbying on behalf of sporting bodies to receive special exemption for their events to take place. Now that the order has made provision for sports events, I am asking that those sporting bodies, including the JAAA, boxing, swimming, and others to resubmit their applications, no longer asking for exemptions, but to stage their events, including training sessions under the provisions of this new order. You can't just resume training or hold a competition. You must follow the process and get approval. So all the bodies have to resubmit their applications if they've already submitted them because of this new order change.
Yeah, man, and we do appreciate the order and it being announced early that these are the steps that we need to take in order to have an event successfully hosting an event in Jamaica. So again, we're extremely happy that the orders or the structure is clearly outlined in the first release from the ministry as it relates to the resumption of sports.
Mr. Grange also said that she must emphasize that the process must be followed. Only one entity has the authority to give approval for sporting events, including training sessions. Where there is a breach, we will take action. In this regard, we are looking into the circumstances surrounding the calling of the JFF training camp in Mona, said Minister Grange. So that training camp in Mona was illegal after all. So, well,
Yes,
what
and
to
Minister
say?
Grange is calling them out.
What to say? So JFF is in trouble. All right. So there are they listed the order, an extract from the Disaster Enforcement Act, and we're going to read a few. During the period of February 1 to February 28, 2021, the following provisions apply in respect for sporting events. A person wishing to hold a sporting event, that is the organizer, shall submit an application for approval of the holding of the event to the Director of Sports in the Ministry with responsibility of sports, who shall review the application and transmit to the Director General of the ODPEM. Well, of course, we went through those things already. What Minister Grange was saying basically summarized these things, but in another recording, we can go through them with a fine teeth comb to break it down for the fans and everybody else who are unaware of the order.
Right. So we at Sports DTM are extremely pleased to announce that the Ministry of Sports has given the green light for sports to resume under certain conditions. And those conditions are clearly outlined in the release from the ministry. So we want you to just go check them out, ensure that you follow the protocol so that you can host a successful event. And we at Sports DTM are looking forward to all the sports associations out there submitting their application and having the necessary things in place to ensure that your event is not in breach and that the athletes and the sports personnel are safe while you host those events. And some of these things that the ministry is outlining that needs to be in place should already be in place.
That's
right.
right.
So we want
Right.
to thank Babsy and the ministry and the government in general for giving the green light finally. This has been something that Sports DTM has been highlighting for weeks now. And now that it is announced, we're extremely pleased. So let us hear from you in the comment section below. Are you happy with this announcement and what sporting event you're looking forward to the most? This is a World Cup qualifying year. This is an Olympic year. This is a gold cup year, and we're extremely happy with this news. Drop us your comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, follow. If your subscribe button is red, it means that you have not yet subscribed, so hit that subscribe button. Be blessed.